How to dream about your soulmate. But this wasn't some nightmare. She grabs a candle in the middle of a dead silent Geneva night and she just starts writing.
And look, what came pouring out of Mary Shelley, it wasn't just some monster story. No, it was like a psychic x-ray of a woman just desperately reaching through her sleep to find someone, anyone, who could handle all of her.
I mean, think about it. She'd already lost so much. Her mother died just days after she was born. Her first baby died. She'd run off with a married man, Percy Shelley, and basically society scorned her for it. She was this brilliant, completely ruined, but ferociously alive woman.
And every single night, her unconscious mind was doing something that, let's be honest, most of us never dare let ours do. It was building. I mean, actively constructing something.
So what was she building? Her mirror, her masculine counterpart. What Jung called the animus? See, she didn't just love Percy, she literally dreamed him into being. She was reconstructing him in her sleep, night after night, weaving him right into the very fabric of her soul. And then the sea took him. His body washed ashore, and just like that, at 24, she was a widow. And you know what? She never remarried. Why? Because she didn't need to. The work was done, the dream was already complete, right there inside of her.
Okay, so let's get into this, because this is the question that should be keeping you up at night. What if Mary's real power wasn't just finding Percy? What if the dream of Percy is what actually summoned him to her in the first place?
And what about you? What if that stranger that keeps showing up in your dreams, the one with no face? What if that's not just some random fantasy? What if it's a signal?
And here's the kicker. What if your soulmate isn't actually lost out there somewhere? What if they're just waiting? Waiting for you to find them in the one place you've probably never even thought to look. Inside yourself.
And look, this whole search for a missing part of ourselves, it's not new at all. It's probably the most ancient story we have. I mean, Joseph Campbell spent his life studying world myths, and he found that every single hero's journey is basically driven by the exact same thing, this desperate search for the sacred other, that missing half that makes us feel whole.
Which brings us to the real nature of the animus. Let's be really clear here. It is not a man. It's a force, a powerful archetype that lives inside your psyche, and it only speaks to you in one language, the language of dreams.
So here's the brutal truth, the part that most dream interpretation gets completely wrong. Your unconscious isn't lazy. It isn't just throwing random stuff at you. It is ruthlessly, terrifyingly precise.
See, your unconscious will only ever show you a mirror of the depth you've actually bothered to cultivate inside yourself. Think about it. Mary Shelley was a prodigy. She was soaked in myth and philosophy and grief. Her inner world was so vast, so rich, so complex, it was big enough to actually produce a Percy Shelley.
So the real question isn't how to dream about your soulmate. The question is this: are you deep enough to dream them into existence in the first place?
And let me be crystal clear, this is not some cute little bedtime ritual. This is soul work. This is probably the most critical, most important inner work you will ever do.
Yeah, these dreams, they're not wishful thinking. They are your psyche performing its most sacred, fundamental function, integration. The dream is doing the hard, messy work of bringing that split-off masculine part of you back into the whole.
And this work, it happens in stages. First, your psyche organizes itself. Your dreams literally start writing your truest autobiography. Then, the masculine part integrates. The animus gets brought back home. And that is what allows you to build the counterpart. You were constructing him piece by piece in the dark while you're asleep, so that when you finally meet him out there in the real world, you know him instantly. Because you see, you've already met him.
In the dark, while you were sleeping, all those nights you thought nothing was happening, trust me, everything was happening.
Part 2. Look, you probably think your dreams about love are just random noise. They're not. They're a code. Your psyche, it doesn't care if you're tired. It is working on this problem every single night, whether you decide to show up for it or not. So this is the code. This is how you finally understand the work it's already doing for you.
All right, let's get right into it. The first thing you have to get through your head is this. The people in your dreams, they're not literal. They're symbols, they're archetypes. They are pieces of a puzzle your soul is trying to solve.
This one comes up all the time. So the big question is, who is he?
thing is, he isn't a man. Not yet. He's raw potential. And he has no face because you haven't given him one. Your psyche is holding up a mirror, showing you that your own inner work isn't done. You can't define what you're looking for because you haven't fully defined yourself. So here's the key. Forget the face. It's a distraction. I want you to focus on how he felt. Journal that feeling right now. Was it protective, dangerous, maybe creative? Pinpoint that emotional signature because that is the real information. That's the quality your soul is screaming for, not some chiseled jawline.
Okay, next up. What if he does have a face, but it's a face you've never, ever seen before?
Look, he might be real, but that's not the point right now. First and foremost, he is an inner figure. He represents the highest, most evolved version of the masculine that your mind can currently cook up. And here's the magic. As you grow, as you do the work, he will evolve in your dreams. And as he evolves on the inside, so will the man you attract on the outside.
And now for the big one, the one that trips everybody up. So I need you to listen, and I mean really listen.
I'm going to say this once. It is almost never about him. He's just a symbol. He's a stand-in for an unresolved part of you. Your job isn't to sit there wondering if you should text him. No, your job is to ask, what quality did he represent that I haven't owned in myself yet? Was it freedom? Boldness? Maybe stability? When you finally develop that quality in yourself, guess what? He's gone. He vanishes from your dreams. Mission accomplished.
Okay, let's go deeper. Sometimes the dream isn't about a person at all. It's about a process. This is where the real work happens. This is psychological alchemy right in your own head.
And you might think, what does being chased have to do with finding a soulmate? Let me tell you, it has everything to do with it.
That dark figure chasing you, that's your own power. It's your ambition. It's the raw, untamed energy you've been told your whole life to push down. And you cannot find a whole partner while you are literally running away from your own power. Your psyche is screaming, stop, running, turn around, face him, and ask him what he wants.
This symbol? Oh, this one is huge. It's one of the most ancient and powerful images your mind can ever give you.
Forget the white dress and the wedding cake. This is not about a marriage license. This is the Hieros Gamos, the sacred marriage inside of you. It's the union of your masculine and feminine, your conscious and unconscious, and how you feel in that dream. Well, that's everything. Joy, terror, peace, that emotion is a progress report. It tells you exactly where you are on the path to becoming whole. Okay, this one can feel really scary, I get it, but you have to reframe this and you have to do it immediately. It's not dark. It's not a bad omen. It's alchemical. Death in a dream is transformation, full stop. It means an old pattern, an old belief, an old version of you is dying. Your psyche is clearing out the deadwood to make room for something new, something more evolved to come in. It is growth, period.
All right, let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture. Your psyche has a map for you, a blueprint, but sometimes there are roadblocks.
Now, I need you to really pay attention here. If you have a dream like this, it's not just significant. It is critically significant. This is not just some childhood fantasy. This is your mythic thread. It's the original blueprint. It's the foundational story of what your soul came here to do. It's the sacred instruction manual you were born with, telling you what you're here to find and who you're here to become. You need to treat this dream like a holy text.
All right, let's tackle this fear head on, because I know a lot of you are feeling this. First of all, you are not broken. You are blocked. That's it. And that connection to your dreaming self, it can be reopened. So tonight, before you go to sleep, you are going to incubate a dream. You are going to command your mind. You don't ask, you don't wish, you command. You say, show me what I need to know about love. Trust me, your unconscious responds to authority. And finally, the breakthrough. This is the moment when all that inner work starts to collide with the outer world. This is the one-to-one. It's when you dream of someone and then you meet them in the real world. That, my friends, is synchronicity. It's your inner reality and your outer reality finally aligning in perfect harmony. And listen, this isn't some magic you just wish for. It's a convergence you earn through all of this intense psychological work. So here's the bottom line. Every single night, your psyche is screaming. It's giving you the map. It's telling you the directions.
The only question left is, are you going to answer?
All right, let's get straight to it. How to dream about your soulmate.
Part 3, and this is it. This is where we stop talking and start doing.
You've heard it before. Theory is dead without action. You get what your dreaming mind is trying to do, right? Well, now it's time to cooperate. And look, these aren't just some cute suggestions. They're practices. They demand everything you've got.
Okay, let's dive into this. Find the practice that speaks to you, the one that makes you a little uncomfortable even, and then you commit, all in.
All right, first up, this is for you, the woman who thinks in words. You know who you are. Your world is built on language, on stories, on the narrative you weave inside your own head. Your practice? It's the dream journal. But listen, get a physical journal and a real pen. Put it on your nightstand the second you wake up. I mean it. Before you even think, before you check your phone, you write. Just let it all pour out. No filter, no editing. Then, after 30 days, you go back and you hunt for the patterns, the symbols that keep showing up, the feelings that won't go away. Because here's the thing, and this is crucial, those patterns, that's your psychic blueprint for love. It's the real map of what you actually need, and you can't afford to ignore it.
So start tonight, because every single morning you skip is another morning you've just handed your unconscious mind right back to the static. Okay, next. For the woman who thinks in images, the visualizers, the artists, the ones who see the world in color and shape.
Your practice is what's called an animus collage. Now, don't get hung up on the term. All it means is you're creating a picture of the masculine energy inside you. And let me be crystal clear. This is not a vision board with pictures of celebrity crushes. No, this is active imagination. You're going to gather images of qualities, a picture of a mountain that feels like strength, an animal that just screams fierce protector to you. You arrange them, you put that collage somewhere you see it every single night before you fall asleep. You're literally training your unconscious. You're giving it a better, clearer picture to work with.
Look, your unconscious is already working with whatever blurry, vague images you've been accidentally feeding it your whole life. It's time to upgrade the input, and you need to do it now.
All right, what if your mind is your greatest weapon? For the fiercely intellectual woman, the one who analyzes everything, this is for you.
Use that incredible intellect. Your practice is to study your own myth. I'm talking about reading Jung, reading Campbell, the real deal, not the summaries. But here's the twist, and it's everything. You apply every single concept to your dream history. This isn't an academic paper. This is about you. You have to ask yourself with brutal honesty, where am I really at in my own development? What stage is my inner masculine, my animus, actually in? This is about radical self-honesty, nothing less.
You know, intellectual avoidance, using your brain to sidestep emotional truth, it's one of the most sophisticated ways we sabotage ourselves. If that stings a little, yeah, it's meant for you.
Okay, for the women who live in their bodies, the ones who process through movement, who feel things physically first, listen up.
Here's something really interesting. You can't think your way into the unconscious. It just doesn't work. You have to move your way in. So your practice is movement. For 30 minutes before you go to sleep, you move. And I'm not talking about a killer workout. This is about shifting your state. Slow, deliberate yoga, deep stretching, maybe some intuitive dance. The goal is to release all the tension your body has been holding on to all day.
Think about it. If you've just been lying in bed, your mind racing, overthinking instead of dreaming, your body is the door. It's the door you've been completely ignoring.
And now for the woman who is spiritually inclined. If you already walk a spiritual path, if you know the power of ritual, this is going to feel like coming home.
Your practice is an ancient one. It's called dream incubation. First, you prepare your space, make it sacred. Then, in your journal, you write a single, clear, commanding question. Something like, tonight, show me what I need to see. And then you lie down and you expect an answer. You don't hope for it, you don't wish for it, you expect it. Because you're unconscious, it responds to authority.
I mean, you pray for love when you're awake, right? So, are you willing to finally ask for it in the one language your soul actually understands?
Okay, now, for the inner skeptic. For that part of you that's listening to all this and thinking, yeah, right.
Are you listening to this with your arms crossed? Eyebrow raised? Good. That skepticism isn't a bad thing. It's your intelligence trying to protect you. But here's what that smart part of you needs to understand. The reason you can't dream of him isn't because this is all nonsense. It's because your psyche is locked down. It's defended.
Your unconscious just doesn't feel safe enough, and you simply cannot dream about what you won't let yourself truly want. So here's the practice for you. Start a written dialogue with that resistance. Ask that cynical voice inside you, what are you protecting me from? Seriously, ask it, because the answer you get, that's the beginning of everything. That wall you've built, it's not your personality, it's a wound. And the amazing thing is, wounds can heal.
And finally, to the woman who feels like she's been waiting forever, this one is for you.
You've been so patient. You've been hoping for so long. But I need you to hear this truth. Straight, no chaser. The beloved does not come to the woman who just waits. The beloved comes to the woman who has gone on her own journey so fearlessly, so completely, that she has become someone worth meeting.
Your dreaming mind isn't just going to drop him in your lap while you sit on the sidelines. It's showing you the path you need to walk. So tonight, I want you to write your own myth, not your resume. Find that one threshold in your life you've been too afraid to cross. And then, just take one step forward. That's it, one single step. Tonight. Because let's be honest, you're running out of time to keep choosing to play small.
The final word here, really, it belongs to Mary Shelley. You know, she spent the last 29 years of her life as a widow. But she didn't collapse, she didn't fade away. She spent those years creating, writing, becoming even more herself than she ever was before. She became the journey.
And that right there, that shows us the ultimate truth of all this. Your soulmate dream, it's not about finding someone to complete you. It's about becoming so complete in yourself that your soul just naturally recognizes its counterpart when they finally arrive.
Dream accordingly.